Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, TechByManny. I am Manny and I am really glad to have you here. In today's video, we are going to discuss an issue that does not happen very often, but when it does, it can consume a lot of your troubleshooting time. When I personally faced this issue, I spent more than an hour troubleshooting it before finally identifying the exact root cause and fix. I learned an important lesson in IT and even in life. Before trying to solve a problem, we must first understand the problem statement clearly. A small misunderstanding can lead us in the wrong troubleshooting direction and waste a lot of time. So that's why I have written down the exact problem statement which I am going to explain in this video so that first we can understand the scenario properly before jumping into the solution. So now let's take a look at the issue. However, before we begin, here I have my humble request to subscribe my channel, like the video and hit the notification bell. This helps me to create more content like this. Thanks for your support and cooperation. So without spending any more time, let's look at the problem statement. Here is our problem statement. We have a virtual machine hosted and deployed in Azure Cloud. The problem we are facing is that we are not able to take the RDP or remote of this VM. Before we jump into any conclusion, let's also have a look at the current settings related to the virtual machine. So here we are. VM is running, RDP port 3389 is allowed, and IP of the VM is reachable. That's good. And above all, firewall is also not blocking any traffic. Okay, now this makes our problem statement little interesting. These settings indicates everything is fine with my VM and I should be able to access my VM over RDP. So what's the issue? Why I'm not able to get the remote access of my virtual machine? So before we find the reason behind it, let's validate the current settings. It is always good to validate whatever the current settings we have. So to do that, we are going to jump to our Azure portal and validate all the current settings. Let's do that. So we are going to log in into our Azure portal, and here you can see I am into my Azure portal. Just to validate all the current settings related to my VM, which is mentioned in my problem statement, I would first go to my virtual machine section here. In this virtual machine, I can see there is a VM1 and this VM1 is in running state. So if you can look into the running state, let me zoom it out a little, it's running. Okay, I'll open this window for a VM where I can get more options related to my virtual machines. In this window, what I need to do, I just need to go to the left hand side and there are many options we have here. We are going to check some more options here. So in this left hand side, first I would like to go into the boot diagnostic. You can see here there is a boot diagnostic. Let me zoom it out for you. It's boot diagnostic. So I'll click on the boot diagnostic and it will show me the screenshot where my machine is currently at. So you can see my screenshot or the boot diagnostic shows me like, okay, my machine is present at control or delete to unlock state, which means if I hit the command control or delete to unlock the machine, I'm able to get the prompt. So however, we have no such option to do this from the Azure. So from the Azure portal, we cannot do this. Okay, but it shows and it indicates like my machine is in healthy state. Then I'll go to resource health. In the resource health, it will basically going to tell me if my resource, which is basically my virtual machine, is in available state or healthy state. So you can see here my virtual machine is in available state. That's the one. Now it's time to check some port settings and the network. So I'll go to the in the same next left hand side and there is an option called network settings. Let me zoom it out for you. That's the network setting. Click on this network setting. In the network setting, you can see if I'll scroll it down a little, then you can see there is an NSG associated to my virtual machine. And this NSG has an inbound rule which basically allows the RDP. You can see the RDP port and the port number is 3389 and it is basically allowed. So if I can scroll it a little towards right, you can see the action is allowed. So here my RDP port is also allowed. Now it's time to check if my machine's IP is reachable or not. So for that part, I am just going to open the command window. Here, let me clear the screen and I'm just going to type ping 10.0.0.4, which is the IP address of my virtual machine. Let's validate it before hitting enter. I'll go to the overview and then here you can see the IP address of my machine is 10.0.0.4. So I'll just go to my command prompt window again and now I'm just going to hit enter. So now you can see I am also getting the response or the reply from my virtual machine. This tells me like machine is reachable, the IP address is reachable. So now I'll go back to my problem statement one more time and I'll just validate all the things. I have checked if my virtual machine is hosted in Azure or not. It is. I have checked my virtual machine is running state or not. It is. 3389 is allowed in the NSG. Yes, it is. Am I able to reach out to my virtual machine? Yes, it is. After doing all the validation related to my virtual machine, it makes really interesting like why I'm not able to take the RDP. So first take the RDP and let's see if I'm able to take the RDP or not. So for that part, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to run my command, which is mstsc. Mstsc is a command which will basically open the remote desktop application, and here I just need to enter the IP address of my machine and to see if I am able to log in. So let me zoom it out. So this is how I'm just going to enter and then hitting on connect. So let's see that. And okay, now I am not getting the prompt, so I'm just waiting for the error to come out, or I'm just waiting for the login screen to prompt me where it is going to. Now you can see I am getting the error message again. So this is the error message I'm getting, like, okay, you cannot connect to the remote of the machine, which is fine. So we have validated all the current settings. We have tried, to take the RDP of my machine, and I'm not able to log in into that. So my virtual machine is running, healthy, available, and it is reachable as well. But still, I am not able to log in into my machine. So what's happening here? Let's figure it out. To figure it out, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the help of the left pane here, and there is an option in the left pane, and that is called run command. This pane is basically a useful set of scripts where you can see that we have multiple scripts, and the best part of this run command is that it is full of useful PowerShell scripts, and you can run all these scripts without login inside the virtual machine. I can run it from my Azure portal itself. Just to validate if everything is related to my RDP is good or not, there is a script given by the Azure, and that script is called RDP settings. And if you read it, then it says verify RDP listener settings. I'll click on that and it will give me the script. If you will click on this arrow, it will give you the script. However, you cannot edit the script, but you can see the script and you can read the script and you can understand what that script is going to do. So you can see all these scripts are basically going to get some information from the registry editor. So let's execute this script and see the output. So I just hit on run, and now I'm going to wait for the output to display. Okay, after waiting some time, the output is shown here, and in this output you can see the second number, which is this. I'm highlighting this and I'm going to zoom it as well. So you can see here H key software Microsoft Windows fDenyTSConnections is set to 1. fDenyTSConnections is an registry setting in every Windows operating system which basically enables the remote desktop connection. And currently the value of this setting is set to 1, which means the remote desktop connection is not allowed. So why it is set to 1? So this is a very, as I told you at the initial of my, at the early stage of my video, Microsoft, this problem is very often, and it does not happen to everywhere. It does not happen to every virtual machine. Sometimes when we create a virtual machine or when we deploy a virtual machine, what happens, this registry setting does not get changed into 0. It gets set into 1. Or sometimes you can also find like this registry setting, there is no value mentioned here. Currently it is setting to 1. In some cases, I have seen the value of this fDenyTS connection is not mentioned. Either it is 1 nor it is 0. In that case also, you will not be able to take the RDP of your machine. So this is the registry setting which we need to verify first. Now we have verified the registry setting, which where the value is set to 1. So we need to change the value of this registry setting. However, I am not able to log in into my machine. So how I am going to do that? Here the magic. I'll close this and I will go to the same window. In the same window, you can see there is an option called Run PowerShell Script. I'll click on this Run PowerShell Script, and in this window, I am getting the editor where I can simply write the command and execute it. As I told you, this run command gives you the option to run the PowerShell scripts without logging into your machine. So the command which we need to put it here is this. We are going to make the change on the registry setting, and we are going to change the value which is 0 to 1. So I have written the command. I'm also going to mention this command into the description for your sake of easiness. Now you can simply copy this command, and please make sure when you are going to copy the command, no extra space, no special characters should be there. So please be very careful while you are mentioning the command here. Now I'm just going to hit on run, and it should display me the output. It is going to take some time and then it will display the output. Now you can see the output is coming and it says the operation completed successfully. After making the changes into the registry setting in any Windows operating system, it is always important to restart your virtual machine. Otherwise, the settings which you have made is not going to take effect. So I'm just going to close this window as of now. You can see it says the operation completed successfully here. And now I'm going to close this window. And the next step which I'm going to do is to restart my machine. So I'm going to overview to restart my machine. Here you can see there is an option of restart. So let's go and restart the machine and wait for it to come online, and then we are going to check the settings by using the run command one more time, and after that we are going to attempt to take the RDP of my virtual machine one more time. So let's restart and wait. Okay, after some time, you can see my machine is successfully restarted. It is giving me the message here. And now I'm just going to validate some more settings one more time. So you can see it is in running state one more time. Machine is running state, which is good. Now I'm going to run command one more time. And it's time to validate the RDP settings one more time. So I'll click on this RDP settings. This is the script, and now I'm simply going to hit on run. So we need to wait for the output to come, and this time we are going to validate what is the value of fDenyTSConnections registry setting. So the output is coming now, and you can see the fDenyTS connection value is basically 0. Let me zoom it out. So you can see it's 0. Here now it's set to 0 and we have restarted our machine. So it's time to reattempt to do the RDP. So for that, I'll just go to the overview. I will validate the IP address of my machine, which is again 10.0.4 here. Now it's time to do the RDP. I'll go to my command window. I'll again type the same command, which is mstsc. It will prompt me with this particular small window, entering my IP address of my virtual machine. Hit on connect, and now you can see I am getting the prompt to log in into my machine. So I'll simply go and type the password, and let's see if it works or not. Hit on yes, and it seems it is going to log me in. So now you can see I am able to log in into my machine perfectly. Just to validate one more time, what I'm just going to do here is I'll just open a command prompt. I'll just close the server manager. As of now, I don't need that. So I'm inside my virtual machine and I'm just going to hit on run, right click on the start button, type CMD and just type hostname. So you can see the host name is showing my VM1, and I am also going to look for the IP configuration, and it says the IP address of my virtual machine is 10.0.0.4. This confirms that I am able to log in into the exact same machine where I was not able to log in before. So now coming back to my problem statement and the resolution which we did is again, so I had a virtual machine which was not, I was not able to take it on the RDP, and we had some current settings also in place, and virtual machine was running. It is IP is reachable, no network traffic blocking, everything was fine, but still I was not able to log in. And why I was not able to log in? Because there is a registry setting which is basically called fDenyTSConnections. It is set to 0, it is set to 1. So this registry setting is an important setting. Sometimes when you deploy a virtual machine in Azure, Azure is not able to make this setting correctly, and sometimes the value of this particular settings or keyword value is basically set to 1, or sometimes there is no value set. In both cases, you are not able to take the RDP of your machine. So it's quite simple. Now we know it's simply we need to go to that our virtual machine, go to the run option. So whenever you are into the situation where everything seems to be fine, but you are not able to take the RDP of the machine, it is always good to check into this particular RDP settings and hit the run command. This will tell you what is the, if there is a problem with the registry settings. This brings us at the completion of this session. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Now, before signing off, a humble request to like the video, subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks and have a great time ahead, everyone.